guys, it's Friday. It's about 3:25 in the afternoon. I'm in the mood to make focaccia this weekend. So, I'm gonna follow this recipe by Cooks Illustrated. It requires a sponge, so I'm gonna make that today. It says it has to rest for about 8 to 24 hours, so it'll be ready for me in the morning. I'm trying to make the caramelized red onion, pancetta, and oregano. I don't have red onion, so I'm just gonna use regular yellow onion. Well, let's get started. So the sponge requires half a cup of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of instant yeast, 1/3 cup of water. You're gonna mix it all until you don't see any more dry flour. So tomorrow morning when I get up, maybe, I don't know, it depends on how tired I am. So I'll make the final mix. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Hey guys, it is 8:15 a.m. on a Saturday. My sponge has been sitting here overnight, so it's been about 17 to 18 hours since I mixed it. Now I'm gonna make the final mix and then do some folds. On the way, I'm probably gonna cook some delicious pancetta and then also caramelize some onions and make a delicious focaccia for lunch. So here we go. Get all those bubbles. Oh, it smells so good. It's gonna make a really delicious focaccia. So right now I'm adding in 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, that was a teaspoon of yeast, 1 1/4 cups of water. I love this whisk. I have eczema and the flour tends to irritate the eczema on my hands. I really like it. All right, I'm gonna let it rest for about 15 minutes. All right, so it's been 15 minutes, so I'm gonna add some salt and mix the dough some more. This is my first time making focaccia, so we'll see how it goes. Today's Saturday, but yesterday I saw on Instagram, someone posted that it was Friday focaccia day. Focaccia Friday, yes, focaccia Friday, focaccia Friday. So I was like, well, you know, I made the sponge on Friday, but to me it's focaccia Saturday. I don't feel the salt grains anymore, so I think we're good. All right, so that's gonna rest for about 30 minutes, and then we're gonna fold it again, and we're gonna do that 3 times. So in the meantime, let's cook up some pancetta and onions. The recipe calls for fresh oregano. I don't have any, so I'm gonna use dry oregano. I'll use about 1/2 teaspoon. I'm gonna saute into the onion so it gives it a chance to wake up and bloom. While that sautés, let's go ahead and do our first fold. dough feels great. What is it about sauteed onions that smells so good? All right, I'm gonna let this dough rest for another 30 minutes and then I'll give it another fold. So that was 4 ounces of pancetta, sauteed, delicious. And then we cooked the onions in pancetta fat, even better. And then we added that half a teaspoon of dried oregano. All right, the toppings are ready. Now I'm just waiting for my dough to rest. We're gonna fold it 2 more times and then we'll be ready to bake. All right, fold number 2. All right, 1 more 30-minute rest and then we're almost ready to bake. All right, guys, 1 last fold. All right, guys, that was the last fold. I'm gonna preheat the oven to 500 degrees and get ready to bake. All right, we're at the home stretch. So now I'm gonna go ahead and oil this 9 by 13 inch pan. In the recipe book, it calls for 2 9-inch round cake pans. I want to make a rectangle focaccia, so I have a 9 by 13 pan. I just feel like focaccia should be rectangle, and I'm a little bit of a rebel, so I'm gonna break some rules. All right, let's get started. I'm also skipping another step. You're supposed to shape the dough and make 2 rounds to put in the 9-inch cake pan, but you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and put it in my rectangle pan. Okay, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kind of stretch the dough. All right, it's not going quite towards all the way to the edge, but I'm gonna let it rest for 5 minutes and maybe it'll start to relax a little bit. We're gonna cover it, and then afterwards, let's add the topping. All right, it's been 5 minutes. Let's take a look. I'm gonna see if I could stretch it a little bit more towards the edge. Now it says to prick with a dinner fork about 30 times. All right, let's add the topping. We'll start with the sauteed onions. Now the pancetta. It took all my strength to not eat all this pancetta. All right, I want to put another drizzle of olive oil and then sprinkle it with some coarse salt. Let's cover it and let it rest for 10 minutes. I'm so excited. This is going into the oven. You're gonna bake it in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. And don't forget to lower your oven temperature to 450. I have a confession to make. So after you preheat your oven to 500 degrees, you're supposed to lower it to 450 before you put in your focaccia, and I forgot. And then like about 10 minutes into the baking process, I did lower the temperature to 450, so a lot of the pancetta and the onions burned, so I picked some of them off. So that's what happened. My house smells incredible right now. I know I have to be patient. I need willpower. I need to wait for the focaccia to cool. I can do this. The waiting game is over. Let's sink our teeth into this. Let's give this a try. Cheers. This is really good. Especially the sauteed onions, so good. The pancetta is crispy. The bread is also crispy on the outside. Inside's nice and fluffy. I'm probably gonna eat the whole thing today. Well, thanks for joining me, and I hope you guys make this focaccia. It's pretty good. And don't make my mistakes.